What if humans could read minds? Imagine waking up tomorrow with a new ability. Not super strength, not the power to fly, not invisibility, but something far more powerful. The ability to hear every thought around you, every stranger, every friend, every family member, every human being. At first, it sounds like the greatest gift in history, but it might become humanity's greatest nightmare. Think about it. No more lies. No more secrets. No more uncertainty. For the first time in history, everyone would know exactly what everyone else was thinking. Politicians couldn't deceive voters. Criminals couldn't hide their intentions. Scammers couldn't trick innocent people. The world would become completely transparent. Or so it seems. Because the moment thoughts become public, everything changes. The first day, it begins without warning. One ordinary morning, billions of people suddenly hear voices. At first, panic spreads. People believe they're hallucinating. Some think they're having a mental breakdown. Others believe the world is ending. Hospitals become overwhelmed within hours. Psychologists can't explain what is happening. Then the truth emerges. The voices aren't hallucinations. They're thoughts. The thoughts of everyone around them. A woman walking down the street hears the thoughts of strangers passing by. A teacher hears the minds of every student in her classroom. A cashier hears every customer waiting in line. Humanity has suddenly become telepathic, and there is no way to turn it off. The Golden Age. Surprisingly, the first few weeks seem amazing. Crime drops dramatically. Bank robberies become impossible. Fraud disappears. Police can instantly identify criminals. Courtrooms become incredibly efficient. Witnesses can't lie. Suspects can't hide the truth. For the first time in history, justice appears almost perfect. Governments become more honest. Corrupt politicians are exposed overnight. Hidden agendas become impossible. International negotiations improve. Global conflicts begin decreasing. People celebrate. Many believe humanity has finally solved one of its oldest problems: deception. For a brief moment, the future looks brighter than ever. But then something unexpected happens. The problem with thoughts, because humans don't just think good thoughts. They think everything, every fear, every insecurity, every random idea, every selfish impulse, every moment of jealousy, every moment of anger. And now everyone can hear them. Imagine sitting next to your best friend. Suddenly you hear them think, "I wish I was more successful than him." Or maybe, "I don't really enjoy spending time here." Maybe they don't even mean it. Maybe it's just a passing thought. But now you've heard it, and you can't unhear it. Couples begin arguing. Friends stop trusting each other. Families grow distant. People discover thoughts they were never meant to hear. Not because their loved ones are bad people, but because every human mind contains thoughts that come and go. Thoughts that don't represent who we truly are. Yet society starts treating every thought as if it were a confession. The death of privacy. Within months, privacy disappears completely. You can no longer keep secrets. Not from your partner, not from your parents, not from your co-workers, not even from strangers. The human mind becomes public property. People become terrified of their own thoughts. Many stop socializing. Others spend hours trying to control every idea that enters their minds. But the harder they try, the worse it gets. Because anyone who has ever tried not to think about something knows what happens next. You think about it even more. The entire world becomes trapped in a never-ending mental conversation. Billions of voices, billions of emotions, billions of fears. Every second, every minute, every day. And there is no escape. The collapse of trust. At first, people believed mind reading would create trust. Instead, it destroys it. Why? Because trust was never built on knowing everything. Trust was built on accepting that you don't know everything. A husband hears his wife briefly wonder what her life would have been like with someone else. A passing thought, nothing more. But now it feels like betrayal. A friend thinks, "I'm tired of listening to his problems." A normal human reaction. But now it feels like an insult. Relationships everywhere begin collapsing. Humanity slowly realizes something important. The mind is not a final draft. It's a rough sketch, a place where ideas appear and disappear. A thought is not a decision. A thought is not an action. Yet the world has forgotten the difference. The new society. Eventually, humanity adapts. Schools begin teaching mental discipline. Meditation becomes essential. Children learn how to control their thoughts from an early age. New technologies are invented to reduce mental noise. Entire industries emerge around protecting the mind. The calmest people become the most respected. Not the richest, not the strongest. The most mentally disciplined. For the first time in history, self-control becomes society's most valuable skill. But another problem is already emerging: the death of creativity. People become afraid of unusual thoughts, afraid of making mistakes, afraid of being judged. Artists stop taking risks. Writers avoid controversial ideas. Scientists hesitate to explore strange theories. Innovation begins slowing down. The world becomes safer, more predictable, more honest, but less creative, less adventurous, less human. People begin wondering if privacy served a purpose after all. Maybe it wasn't about hiding secrets. Maybe it was about protecting imagination. The scientific discovery. Years later, scientists make a shocking discovery. Human thoughts were never designed to be public. The brain constantly generates random ideas. Many are meaningless. Some are irrational. Some are disturbing. Most disappear within seconds. These thoughts don't define who we are. What defines us are our choices, our actions, our behavior. For thousands of years, humanity judged people by what they did. Now people are judged by every passing thought. And that changes everything. The final choice. After decades of living with telepathy, scientists develop a cure, a way to remove mind reading forever. The entire world prepares to vote. Should humanity keep telepathy or return to privacy? The debate divides the planet. Some argue that telepathy has reduced crime, exposed corruption, made society more honest. Others argue that humanity has paid too high a price. The loss of privacy, the loss of freedom, the loss of individuality. Ending. When the results arrive, the decision is overwhelming. Humanity chooses privacy, not because people miss lies, not because they miss deception, but because they miss silence. They miss the freedom to think without being watched, the freedom to make mistakes, the freedom to be human. As telepathy fades away, the voices slowly disappear. For the first time in decades, the world becomes quiet. People can think freely again, dream freely again, imagine freely again, and humanity learns one final lesson. Privacy was never about hiding the truth. It was about protecting the space where truth is created. Because before an idea becomes a belief, before a belief becomes an action, before an action changes the world, it begins as a thought. And maybe some thoughts were never meant to be heard. So if humans could read minds, would it create a perfect world, or would it destroy the very thing that makes us human? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more what-if scenarios.